Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mantombi Makubela if you are new to this channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome. Quite a lot of questions on what equipment I use to shoot my content. So I get a lot of questions and DMs and messages from my audience and friends and many people out there asking what type of equipment I use to really just produce the content that I produce, but also to make sure that it is high quality. In this video, I'll be sharing with you the amount of resources that are really just out there that you guys can consider when wanting to start either a YouTube channel or want to start really just upping your game when it comes to producing high quality content on your social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and many more. So without wasting your time, let's get into it. So I don't want to get too much into the technicalities of equipment because I know that sometimes when it comes to all things technology, it can be quite confusing, right? But I'm going to try and simplify everything for you, but also give you guys the equipment that I have used and I have tried and tested. So if we're starting off with the gear, right in front of me and the quality that you're currently seeing right now, I am shooting on a Canon M50. This is the camera that I use to vlog, to shoot each and every single content that you will see on my social media platform. That is TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, Instagram Pictures, and everything else on YouTube. This is the camera that I use. I think for me, the Canon M50 is a much more easygoing camera. It's very easy to learn. It's non-complicated. It's also very much compact. It's the camera that I also do vlog with. So if you are looking to obviously switch screens in order for you to actually see yourself like I am right now on my screen, you definitely can do that. The camera definitely offers it. So first and foremost, I say your phone, right? Now, I know that sometimes some people always feel like, yeah, but it's not going to give me the exact same quality. But I want to actually show you how your phone actually sometimes really does have good quality, especially if you can't or aren't in a position to really get yourself a camera immediately. So I've got lots of natural light that is coming in right now as I am shooting in front of sort of like my curtains are open. So you can see that you can really just utilize your phone to the best of its ability. So I'm sure you can see that, under the right conditions, your phone can really just, help meet you halfway. Now, obviously, I don't particularly shoot on my phone because I do obviously have a camera. So I'm obviously just showing you that it is possible if you don't obviously have access to a camera at the moment. But if you obviously do want to graduate from using your phone and upgrading it to using a camera, this is the gear that I would suggest you use if you want to get high quality content. So this camera that I am currently shooting on is the Canon EOS M50, right? Now, this I think for me is a very simple, affordable, beginner-friendly point-and-shoot camera. You can also vlog with it. I vlog with it. I am currently shooting with it. If you want to obviously see yourself, in the monitor, if you are seated correctly, and you're in the right frame, this is definitely a camera that I recommend, right? It does shoot in 4K as well, but I never really shoot in 4K because I feel like 4K sometimes does really take up some of my space. And yeah, I'm not shooting a movie, I'm just giving out content. And most of the people who actually consume my content, or rather will consume most of the content that we create for IG and TikTok, etc., will be watching it on their phones. So I don't think they need much more of a higher quality such as 4K. So I shoot in 1080p. On this particular camera, you do have an option on whether you want to shoot your videos manually or you want to use auto. A lot of people I find normally use auto, which for me, I think manual settings really work well for me because I genuinely feel like I just have a bit much more better control over the camera and how my video is going to play out. So the settings that you have on your camera are normally 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, right? Now, I normally shoot on 60 frames per second because I find that I can also record. It's a much more suitable setting if you also want to do a bit of slow-mo footage. Whereas 30 frames per second, it's just, it's basically like the normal sort of like settings where you can just shoot normal and, you just want to show whatever it is that you want to show. But I prefer 60 frames per second. The ISO that I shoot on as well is also on auto. The reason why my ISO is on auto is because sometimes, I want my lighting to be adjusted. So sometimes what you'll find is that if I am shooting like I am right now during the day, the sun can come. It's quite gloomy outside, right? So if the sun does, let's say, come out, you'll immediately start to see the video starting to change color. And I guess it's just a way and a better way of it adjusting to the lighting and the color. camera if you do not have an SD card, right? Now I'm currently using the SanDisk cards, and for me these are really just simple camera memory cards that you need. They're non-complicated, and I think for me what you really want to look for is to make sure, I think for me what you really want to look for is that your SD card is giving you enough gigs in order for you to have obviously and shoot a lot of content without your camera saying that there isn't enough space. So followed by that, I currently have my camera standing on a tripod. Now I think this is a must if you are starting. You really want a tripod. So depending on whether you're using your camera or you're using your phone, the next set of gear that you need to make sure that you have is a tripod, right? What you're obviously going to need as well is a tripod, right? Depending on whether you're using your phone or you're using your camera, a tripod is super, super important because it will really just help with stabilizing your footage without it being shaky. Because what you find is that sometimes when you're vlogging or when you are recording footage, your phone or your footage will be all over the place and it won't be stable. So you want to make sure that, you know, people get full view of what it is that you're showing them on camera or on phone in order for them to really just enjoy the content that you're putting out there. Now, if we're moving on to sound, right? Now, many people always say, you know, would you watch bad quality video with good audio, or are you choosing good audio and bad quality? You choose. I won't answer that for you, but you can choose. So for sound, you always want to make sure that your sound is crisp, clear, and straight to the point. You want to make sure that whatever it is that you're delivering on camera, people are able to hear you and you're able to well articulate yourself, right? So what does that mean? You need a mic. Now, I think when it comes to mic, you never want to be fancy, you never want to be complicated. You really just want something that will transmit the audio and, you know, be able to hear yourself speak loud and clear. So over here, I have the Boya mic, which is basically a lapel mic. So this mic is a very easy to use mic, right? It's a mic that comes obviously with a little muffle. It's a mic that comes on with a little muffle over here, with your mic obviously underneath, and then it has a little clip on, so you can definitely clip it on however you want, or where you obviously want it to be visible, depending on whether you want it to be visible or not. That is up to you. It does then have the option of whether you want to plug it into your smartphone or into your camera. Now, this is, again, depending on what it is that you are using to shoot your content, it is all up to you. But this camera is definitely flexible and can work both ways with whatever it is that you're using. Now, obviously, I would say that you also need to, I feel like as part of your equipment, you need to have a laptop. If not, you can also use your phone. This will really just help with making sure that you're able to download the software or applications to be able to edit your videos and content in the right way. I am currently using a MacBook Air, and this is really the laptop. I haven't really upgraded this laptop. I haven't seen the need to. I first started off with iMovie. This was very much in the beginning of my content, in the early days where I really didn't, know anything about softwares. But yeah, as time went by, I am now currently editing every single video of mine on CapCut. I have CapCut on my phone, I have CapCut on this laptop, but I also think I've recently downloaded CapCut on my laptop, and I'm really finding it a whole lot more better to maneuver on my laptop because I get full screen, full view of what it is that I'm editing as opposed to my phone, unless of course I am on the go and I need to edit something quick, fast. Definitely my phone comes in handy. Now because I use my laptop to edit, and that's basically where I do and edit all my footage. It's also really helped me with also, really just emptying out my laptop and not making it too heavy in terms of the footage that it can take and the storage purposes. Now, one thing that I have obviously invested in, because I do edit on my laptop, is a desktop storage. This is the MyBook WB desktop storage that I have invested in, which really just helps with, completely backing up my storage. Should it get lost, or should I need to delete it off my laptop because of space? This really has come in handy for me. It's got it's a 6 terabyte Western Digital MyBook, and it really just helps with everything, whether I have files, videos, and videos that are obviously high quality and take up a whole lot more space. This has definitely been my go-to. So I think those are my first key things. Now that we have Content Bank out the way, I think the next thing that I really want to touch on is the lens. Now that we've gotten Content Bank out the way, I always say that this is one thing and one thing for sure that'll really up the quality of your content, guys. I think investing in a really good lens is super key in really just, taking your content to another level, right? So I am currently using the Sigma lens 30mm f1.4. As you can see, I am very much in frame, everything is clear, but also even if I shoot in real format, this lens really gives me so the reason why I love this lens is because what you'll see is that depending on how I am seated in my video and the positioning, this lens is really good with also helping with giving me the bokeh. So if you don't know what bokeh is normally the blurred sort of like background that you'll get, which will really just give your videos a whole lot more depth, but also really make you look a whole lot fuller on your screen, whether it's on your phone or on the camera, which will help with delivering and giving you high quality. Now, if you do use the Canon M50 camera, when you get the camera, they provide you with a kit lens. Now, when you get the Canon M50 camera, you will get a kit lens that will go with your camera, right? Now, obviously, if you are starting off, you may not have enough money to be able to invest in, additional lenses. So definitely, this lens will really help you deliver everything that you need to do. It will give you camera quality. You will definitely see the difference between using your phone and a camera. But obviously, like I say, if you do want to obviously graduate, start producing high quality content, you will have to get a better lens. Now, the reason why I use the Sigma lens 30mm f1.4 is because it has a very much telephoto zoom, right? So because I shoot most of my content in real format and they're mostly centered around my face, right? It really helps with just giving me that full definition. It really helps with, capturing crisp photos, whether that's for IG or any sort of photography that you are interested in or doing. This is definitely the lens for you. It's also just a very compact lens, so whether I want to carry it in my handbag and I'm going somewhere, or I want to capture a quick moment whether you're on vacation, this lens will definitely give you the quality you need. So the second lens that I use is the Sigma 18 to 35mm, right? Now, this is obviously if you're looking for a much more wide angle lens. Now, this lens is really helpful when it comes to, so if you're looking for a much more, standardized wide angle zoom lens, this is the lens that you definitely need to invest in. So this is obviously not a lens that I will use every day. This is a lens that I utilize whether I am whether I am traveling, or you want to shoot sort of like street content that'll really just capture you in the moment, and you're walking afar and you're giving us all those lovely visuals. This is definitely a lens that you can utilize, but that'll also work to achieve the certain look that you would be going for. Now that we have the equipment out the way, one thing I do believe in as well when you are creating content is to make sure that you have a file organization system. This really just helps you with keeping your content in order. It really will help and allow better workflow, but also better structure, because I feel like if you can't structure and plan your content, it really becomes busy and it becomes wishy-washy and all over the place, and you end up speaking and recording things and just having everything all over the place, and it also just makes your editing process a whole lot more difficult, right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're opening a folder, be it in your hard drive, which is what I currently do, using this WB My Book. I will then go ahead and section out, create folders, have separate folders for my music, for whatever drone footage it is that I'm taking, for vacation footage that I'm taking. This better helps with me just having a clear view of what it is that I want, where I'm taking it, which folder I need to go to, what music it is that I want. But I also find in terms of music as well, you want to make sure that you have all your non-copyright music all in one folder, just so that when you're editing, you don't need to go back to YouTube to check whether you want this song or that song. It just becomes a whole lot more simple and an easier way to work. So yeah, guys, I definitely will link every single equipment that I have listed down below in the description box, just so you guys can get a hold of it. Check out the prices if you want to. But I definitely will say that this for me is the starter kits that I think you need if you are wanting to go into the space of content creation. But also, this is the equipment that I have since started off with. I started 2 years ago creating content, and this is how far I've come. My quality is a whole lot more better. If I look at my first video from what I created, I shot on a phone, and it was an iPhone X, I think, and I think it was an iPhone 7. But gradually, and as I took the time to also educate myself and learn how to use these equipment, how to use these editing softwares, and what it is that I need to do, all the plug and plays that I need in order for me to really be able to produce better quality. This is the equipment that I've used. It has worked for me, and I am obviously day by day learning, growing, and really just improving and getting better equipment. So yeah, guys, I do also just want to say that I think it's important for you to start with what you have. If I had to show you my very first video that I took out on Instagram when I started creating, this is the quality of it, and I can tell you for free, it wasn't great, right? And currently, this is the quality that I am currently producing, and yeah, guys. So I do want to say, obviously, if you are a content creator, and obviously if you do want to get into the content creation space, these are the basics that you need. And I think if you invest in this equipment, it'll really take you a long way. But I just want to say, don't stop creating, and if you're not creating, just start creating. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in your comments down below what else you'd like to hear from me. I do want to actually get into a bit of tech. I'm obviously not a know-it-all. I think I would consider myself as a beginner person, because I personally am really much self-taught. I took the time to really just educate myself on the cameras that we're using, the type of softwares and apps that I need, but also without breaking my bank. Because I know that there are certain softwares that you need to pay for, and I was obviously not in a position to pay for those. But I've also I've really just stayed on course when it comes to editing as well. I think I am slowly mastering editing. I really enjoy editing as well. And yeah, guys, I think content creation really is a space where everyone can grow, rather than being discouraged and feeling like oh my word, I want to get into the space but I can't because I don't have all these things. It really is possible, but use what you have and use it to the full of its ability. And yeah, guys, you definitely will be able to grow from that. So yeah, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.